Welcome to the Queens of the DMV. My name is Ariel, and I'm here with my co-host today, Cher Castillo,
Hello.
and Arnita Green.
Hi.
Real talk in real estate. Don't forget to follow us on IG, Queens of the DMV, and YouTube. Listen to our podcast weekly as we discuss different topics. Um, Look out for new episodes every Thursday via YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Today it's just us. We don't have a guest. But our topic today is social media, working smart, not hard. Can we agree that social media takes up a lot of our time when we're promoting a business and a brand, ladies?
Oh my gosh, it takes up too much time.
I mean, it's a love-hate thing, right, ladies? It really is a love-hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way to build your brand and build your business, but it does require a lot of time, which none of us really have a lot of time. So
and then I think so many like outlet social media people that tell you what to do. They say, don't have somebody doing it for you. Now that's what they say. Don't have people doing it for you. And I'm like, well, we don't got time.
Right.
Exactly. And how do you work smarter and not harder? Because you would think working smarter would be hiring people to help you do stuff. But if you're supposed to be creating this authentic content, from your true day-to-day life, then how do you do that and then streamline the amount of time that you spend devoted to social media?
Hey, I think everything in our business, or everything with any business, everything is a learning curve. So, when we had to different things that we had to do when we first started real estate, that was hard to do. It was hard to do those things, making calls, door knocking, different things like that. And we hated doing it, that now we have to pivot to, making time to do content on social media, picking a day out of the week to really do content, or even pick a day just to post, or do something like that. So I guess we have to we have to grow with the time. Ain't that what they say?
Absolutely. I mean, we definitely do. And I think each of us have been doing that in terms of, our social media practices. We have social media managers, Arnita, you're like the queen of reels right now.
Yep.
You hired a company to help you with, building
And I
your
still
reel.
hate it. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I hate it.
It's tough because it's like, you have to look a certain way. So you have to make sure your makeup's done, your hair's done, your outfits are on point. And, I'm just trying to sell real estate. That's all I'm trying to do. But
That's hard enough as it is.
That's all we want to
exactly.
do. Yeah, it's they trying to save these deals and everything, and then you like, okay, now I gotta get business on the social media, which is fine. We're not complaining. That's not what but
We're
we're
not
but
complaining, we're commiserating.
it's
Yeah.
just it's a lot. It really is. But I mean, it's manageable. But do you really? I mean, let's be honest. Do we want to do it? No, I don't. I don't.
I
And
think
and
it
with
comes
your point,
natural.
share is with the makeup, all of those things. Y'all know I
Yeah.
hate getting my makeup
Mhm.
done. Y'all
Mhm.
always look gorgeous, but I hate that. So, those, I think that's the part that drives me crazy, is that, you don't want to show up anyway on social media. Sometimes it's fine, but a lot of
Mhm.
times you got to be presentable.
Yeah, because, you're representing your brand, so it's not like you can go out there looking all scruffy and, every time. I mean, if you're in the field and you're doing something, if I'm at a flip project, I don't expect, I don't think the world expects me to look a certain way then. But generally speaking, if I'm, talking about real estate stats and showing a house and all of that, I do think presenting yourself in a professional way is super important. And, doing that on camera or taking pictures and all of that, it does take a lot of time to do that.
Mhm.
So I think one of the ways that, we can agree is what you already said, Arnita, is like taking designated days to plan and crank out the content in advance. That way you don't have to spend every day, for an hour or two a day doing something as it relates to, rebranding or building content or all of that. But before we even delve deeper, I want to talk about some of the stats, in terms of social media, because
Mhm.
right now we have 3.5 billion users worldwide. That is a lot of social
That's a
media
lot.
users. And, some advice, as I was researching for today, that and some information I should say, is that only 20% of our posts should be about sales, which is like 100% of really what we do. So that means the other 80% of content that we produce shouldn't have anything to do with sales, which is kind of
Correct.
hard to believe. So now we have to come up with stuff that is outside, the real estate realm, whether that's, being a mom, traveling, just what we do on a daily basis, so people can get to know us. And in that, we need help doing that. So how do we save time in doing that? We hire a content creator to help us offload some of that work. And I don't
Right.
know if you ladies do that in terms of content creation. Have you done that in the past or plan on doing that, or are you doing that now?
So dealing with the most of the time with the stuff that's not work, to me, I don't need a content creator for that.
Mhm.
That comes off more naturally for me, more easy.
Mhm.
So I can, I don't have to have makeup on. I mean, I'll do a couple of things, but that is so much easier for me because I'm with my family. We're having fun. I'm with my husband. I'm with the kids. I'm talking about the kids. So that actually is more natural for me.
Yeah.
And with that, I don't need someone to help me post that. Um, They may be trying to put it together or something like that. I'll probably need. But most of the time, for those things, it comes off more naturally, and I could post that easily.
Mhm.
What about you, Ariel? Or do you create all your content, or do you get assistants creating your content?
I would say it's a little bit of both. There's a couple of pre-made content creators that you can look into or subscribe to monthly. They'll give you ideas on content creation, especially for real estate agents. But I would say like that's one way. And then obviously our busy real life, you know, has a lot of content. Like I saw where you posted where your son was playing basketball, and he jammed his finger. I felt so bad for him. Like he was crying.
Hmm.
And it was just a moment like I felt like I felt like he did today. Like my finger. Like seriously. So I mean, even just little things like that, I feel like our audience and people who are actually like following us on social media really want to get to know us, because a lot of times it is strictly business, especially for me. I keep it strictly business when I have a client, but they can go on social media and probably learn more about me than I would say. So I think it's a perfect way to integrate both. So I use a little bit of pre-made content, and mix it in with my everyday life, and it just works out that way, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think people should take classes, or learn from, no, take classes from another social media content person, or because there's so many things offered out here to help you with social media. So do you think that that people should take those classes?
I
I think,
absolutely think so.
yeah, I was gonna say that too. And the reason why I say that is because we're not social media experts. And I started talking to someone who is really deep into this, and they started talking about algorithms and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what that is. I'm just posting organically. I have 20,
We're not
20
looking at that.
I have 20,000 followers, and literally it's organic just from posting, content that people are interested in
Yeah.
and posting frequently. And that's how I built up my platform, but it wasn't overnight. I think I got onto specifically, like, I focus more on Instagram, and then I would say secondly Facebook. But Instagram, I want to say, like, I started trying to grow my following like back in 2016. So it's not a overnight, you know, wham bam, like I got all these followers from night to day. I didn't go viral or anything like that. It's just over time, I built platforms, and I think all three of us have pretty strong platforms, so much that people want to hack our pages, share. So, you just gotta, I think paying someone, an expert who knows what they're doing, is key. But also protecting your brand after it's built is a big one too, because social media just breeds scamming as well.
Yeah, and going back into working smarter and not harder on, with your social media. When I first started using social media, of course, we all probably started using Facebook for business. I'm not talking about Black Planet back in the day, ladies, okay? For business. So, but we probably started with Facebook, and then, as years went by, it was Instagram, and now there's, TikTok primarily as the three main social media platforms, especially as realtors that we use. I thought I was Instagram queen, but as Instagram has rolled out more things, I've been left in the dust, and I think I have been demoted from being Instagram queen because there's just so many things to keep up with from, like I remember when we were just posting pictures, then we went to posting stories, which I had to get used to. Then, now a story is not good enough. You got to do a reel or go live. And now there's TikTok where I'm like, and you're never going to see me dancing on TikTok. So what content am I going to put on there? So,
Working out, share, working out.
working out. Okay, I can do that. But hiring a professional who can streamline all of this for you, I think is extremely critical as you plan your branding and lead generation, and not just in the real estate business, but in any business that you may have. It's just budgeting for that as well. Arnita and I were talking yesterday about reels and just how expensive they are, to have professional reels done on a monthly basis. But then at the same time, doing that all on your own would be probably way too time consuming for you and your schedule to create, the ideas, film it, edit it, and then post it. I mean, there's a lot of different steps there. So hiring a company to do that for you, I can totally see the value in it long term versus having to do that yourself.
Right.
But
It's
the
also
funny
being able to utilize everything that the internet offers. The other thing that I was going to say too, that kind of feeds into our business, is the ad section of Instagram. Just learning how to set that up and, target the audience that we're trying to target, which is everyone essentially. But, you have, geographical locations, zip codes, how we farm normally. You can use your typical farming rules in Instagram ads, and I've done that too. But yeah, just using those different tools to help your business grow equals working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, those ads are really good too. That's a really good component. If people aren't using them, they need to be using those too.
Right.
So right now, what do you both feel is the most advantageous form of social media for your business?
Mm,
Like, what's something that you would say on a monthly basis? Okay, if I stop doing this, I know I'm not going to get at least a certain amount of leads. Like, or maybe the first question should be, is social media bringing you business
yes.
currently?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And how much of your business would you say that accounts for?
I would say about 30% of
I
mine.
would say
Wow.
yeah, I would say like 40% for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are really high. I would say about 10% of my business is social media. And I'm not counting the followers that were prior clients that probably I'm just saying top of mind, for I'm just saying actual new clientele coming in is
Yep.
probably 10% of my
Well,
business.
see, it's funny. It's funny how you kind of categorize that because I do count that, and the reason why I count the folks who I know already or are following me because
Mhm.
they wouldn't be following me if it weren't for my content or what I'm posting.
Mm,
So, and I've had people that have followed me for years and then reach out to purchase a home or sell a home just because I was at the top of their social media feed. So
okay.
where you may know the person, they may not. There's a million real estate agents out here. They may not have contacted you if you weren't active or consistent with your
Social.
advertising on social media. So I do
Mhm.
count that because everyone knows a real estate agent.
Yeah.
So
That's a good
when you're using social media to showcase what you know and your experience and your depth, because all of us have depth. We can virtually help any purchaser or seller in any type of real estate transaction.
Yeah.
So
And
when
to
you
stay on top
showcasing
of mine.
that, yeah, when you're showcasing that on social media, we look like the experts, which we are. And they may have forgotten about their cousin Joe who does real estate.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I,
that's a
I
great
do
way to
count
look
those
at
people.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was right on point.
So with that said, in terms of what the most advantageous part of your social media is right now, if you if you're able to, go back and look at your statistics or your numbers or what have you, what has been serving you the best in terms of lead generation and creating more income for you through social media?
Just the posting, and I mean, I'm not even going to say the reels because I really just got involved in doing that. The reels are bringing clients, but I think just constantly doing something on social media. And honestly, y'all, it might not be the houses that I'm selling. It's really me showing my authentic self.
Mhm.
I hear more people saying that they love my personality, they my smile, and I'm not just saying this.
It is Women's History Month, so you can big yourself up, but no.
Yes. Okay. Okay. But I'm just being myself,
Mhm.
and it draws people in, and it just yeah, it just is what it is. So and of course they know that I sell real estate. Of course that I sell a lot of real estate, but I don't think it's my personality that brings them in. So
I agree.
to me, that's for me, that's where the business comes from. Because
So it's really
I promise you,
highlighting
what you say.
it's really you highlighting
Yeah.
the real you, and by kind of happenstance, you do real estate. So and the reality is that people want to do business with people they like. So,
Exactly.
the fact that they're getting to know you and they like you, and now they can do business with you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to share what drew me to both of you all on social media because I did meet both of you all on social media.
That's right.
Yep.
For share, what captured me about your social media is your versatility and your depth. The fact that you do all assets of business, investing, real estate agent, you have a team, you go into brokerage, just all these things that I watched you for 2 years do before I reached out to you. Um, it intrigued me how you balanced everything, wife, mom, like all those things. And it just inspired me to be able to do certain things. And I think our platforms and social media, working smarter, not harder, is also inspiring people who are watching us
Mm,
and not being fake about it. We're really actually sharing our real lives
definitely.
because nothing that you posted was not real, Cher. It
Yeah.
might be a little modest about how great you are, honestly.
Aw, thank you.
I
So,
so agree.
yeah, I went to a networking event that she held, and I so want her to start this networking group back up. But um, I went to a networking group meeting that she had, and it was amazing. And I just said, this woman has so much like information to share. And so that, that's how I started following you, and we started talking, and here we are. So
Yeah.
yeah. And then Arnita, I would say your personality, like number one. Like you're always in good spirits, always smiling and laughing. You have a lot of friends, and that's obvious because of the person that you are, but you're a great agent too. And I think, a
Yeah.
lot of your followers and stuff know that because literally your testimonials, things that you share about your clients, like you would have to get to know your customers in order to share stuff that you share about them that makes a person want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think like the inviting spirit matters too. And so when you put those things into your social media, your real, true, authentic self, I think that's what draws in the business. I see a lot of real estate agents just jumping on a bandwagon, but they're not being themselves.
Right.
And so, I think,
Aw, look what
you
her
know,
husband did, share. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
The other thing that I admire about you is you're not afraid of change. I'm trying to get on that level.
I know.
You will make some changes to fit what it is that you need at the moment. And sometimes I'd be scared. So I watch you for inspiration on that.
Thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
but I think like, our topic, I think taking all of that and packaging it into something and putting it into our social media is working smarter.
That's a good.
That's what's bringing in the customers. That's what is drawing our audience in, and just being our true, authentic self.
Yeah, and you're right on point with that because
Mhm.
even content creators, say the same thing. It's like the more that you share about who you really are, the more that people, assuming that you're a likable person,
Right.
let's be clear, um, then, people will follow and people will want to continue following you and get to know you on another level. And of course, then they'd want to do business with you. So that's key. But in terms of, working smarter and not harder, what are some of the key things and giveaways that, we can give to our audience today, no matter what business they're in, whether they're in real estate or something else? Because, we do all have strong social media followings and we're all very active on social media, some platforms more than others, but generally speaking, what have we been doing or what are we going to do, and what can we share with the audience, to work smarter so they're not spending 10 hours a day of screen time getting updates from Apple saying, oh, your screen time has gone up 2 hours.
Exactly.
Right.
Or I'll even do one that really doesn't cost you money. Because lately, if I can't figure out something, if I'm doing a reel and I can't figure it out, YouTube it.
Hmm.
Right.
That's the easiest thing. YouTube will show you everything on what to do. So that means or ask for help. Ask for help, or everything is online. If you can't figure out, then yes, then maybe you will need to, get into a class, a social media class, find somebody online that does those things. But honestly, I've found a lot on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is definitely very helpful with the tutorials. And I like what you said too, Arnita, about asking, because I just called you the other day and I was like, what am I going to do about my reel situation? Because I'm really good at shooting reels of properties without me in it and like of adventures without me in it. But the whole idea is to have myself more involved in the reels. And, I reached out to Arnita and she shared her process with her and some of the things that she's been doing that was super helpful for me because just some basic stuff, right? Like how much should you be posting in terms of a reel? Like, and you were like, you got to kind of post something Monday through Friday every day. And I'm like, no way. That's a lot of posting of
It
reel.
is.
But she's like, you want to get the business. This is what you got to do. You want to ramp it up. This is what you have to do.
And it's not easy, but I mean, I will at least try to do at least 3. It's not easy, but you got to do something, share.
Right. Right. No, and I'm on it.
Find your sweet spot. So I think like just watching you, like the tours and stuff is great, but if you wanted to get a little personal, I think you could do your workouts. Your workouts are amazing. I watch them on your stories. So that's one thing
For that.
Staying fit or whatever and being a business person, whatever it takes. And then I would say, the other thing you could do is to like tutorials on some of the investing and different things that you do because you have a wealth of information.
A wealth of information.
So you would fall into that category of like the info reels.
Right.
Where they, kind of like, talk about how to do certain things in business. And I think that would be great for you. For me, I'm more on the comedy side. I like to do funny skits. I don't do the, I don't know. I have done some like
Ariel, you have a wealth of information too. Many times I call you crying and talking about what am I going to, both of y'all did that last month. But no, I think that goes for the both of you. You have to do that. The info and funny and health and all of the above actually.
Yeah. I low key want to be a comedian.
That might be a whole nother YouTube channel for you.
I know. She needs to be a comedian on real estate. All
exactly.
The funny stuff we hear and see and do.
Came up with what is that? The broker agent, the one that's posting the crazy stuff. Yeah, but
he's funny though.
He is really funny. It's like he says everything that you're thinking and that you didn't post.
He really does.
But yeah, those are some great ideas. As we close out the show for today, just hiring, YouTubing, and
Asking.
What was that last one?
Asking,
yes. I know a lot of times we're afraid to ask, so we just YouTube. See, I rather ask than YouTube. I'm like, that takes 5 more minutes to search to figure out which buttons to click on. I'm like, let me just call Arnita. Let me just call her. That's a lot easier. But yeah, using your circle and and mentors to ask those questions to are really key. And devoting that specified amount of time, like you said, Arnita, like spending a day or two creating the content. Those are definitely key ways to work smarter and not harder.
Right.
And the last part, being your true authentic self.
Love it.
You are a walking content. Just being your true self will produce content and grow your brand authentically.
Bingo.
Organically.
Amen to that. Well, this was the Queens of the DMV signing off today, wrapping it up on social media, working smarter, not harder. check us out every Thursday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at 5 p.m., or you can watch us at a later date, but that's when we drop our episodes. So until next time, follow us at Queens of the DMV and tune in every Thursday. I'm Cher Castillo signing off with my co-host Ariel Pegas and our
Bye bye.
Bye.
Till next time.